what sort of outfit do I need to catch mackerel? Okay, so what I've got here beside me is just a few of my outfits, and we're just going to run through and what you really need, and what I know tackle shops do sell you, but you don't really need it. We'll just get to that, okay? So first of all, when I used to work like in tackle shops, and when I go to tackle shops and listen and just watch, a lot of the staff will push you onto bigger reels like TLD 25s, TLD 30s, big trawling outfits, which is all great if you're up north and you're chasing monster mackerel like 30 and 40 kilo fish. You'll need it. But for the general fish down a bit, down south, southern Queensland and middle of Queensland, even up here in Cairns, you don't get a lot of that size fish. You get quite a few smaller ones too. You don't need those outfits. Okay, so this is a TLD 30. Look at the size of this thing, and heavy. Okay, a lot of people will say you need this. You don't. It is a good trawling outfit when you're chasing wahoo or bigger mackerel, like I said, and marlin like striped marlin, small black marlin, medium-sized marlin, big dolphin fish and stuff. It's great because it holds a lot of line. It's a trawling outfit. It's a 15 kilo trawling outfit. It's perfect for going out trawling, chasing general fish. But when you're going out specifically chasing a few mackerel, and it's very unlikely you're going to come across one 30 kilo plus. They are rare. They're around, but they're rare. Most of the fish you're going to encounter anywhere from say 6 kilo to say 15, okay? This is overkill. It's overkill. It'll catch a fish, but you'll have absolutely no fun, and you don't need something so big and heavy. For the size of the fish I just described, go down, if you want to use overheads and want something with a lot of line, which a lot of people do for trawling, I run things like that. That's like a TLD 15. How small and light that is. That's full of 10 kilo mono. It's got 600 yards of 10 kilo. And TLD 15, it's on a little short stroker, so you got a little short 10 kilo rod here. Okay, it's just a 10 kilo rod, about 6 foot. And TLD 15, something along the lines of that. It's not a big expensive one. You don't need to go into the shops and buy Talikas and big game reels and fancy stuff for mackerel. Something like this would be fine, and this will catch 20 kilo mackerel, not a problem, and under. Okay, so that's what you're going to use for what I use for trolling. It's one of the reels I use for trolling, so I like using my overheads. I'll troll deep divers on this, shallow divers like hard body lures, and even live baits, dead baits. You'll troll on this, unless it's on a downrigger. If it's on a downrigger, I'll use a different rod. It'll be a longer, lighter rod in the tip for the downrigger. But just for trolling straight off the tip, out of the back of the boat, a couple of lures, a TLD 15 or something along the lines of that sort of size, full of 10 kilo, 15 if you want to go 15, but it's not necessary, is going to be absolutely fine, guys. Okay? If you don't like overheads, and you'd rather use spin reels, I've caught some of my biggest mackerel actually on this one. That's a spin reel. Also use it for trolling. But the beauty of having a spin reel on board, you can cast lures and stuff with it too. But this one I've got on a shorter rod. This is a 5'6", so it's sort of it's a light jigging outfit, but I like using it for live baiting and things. But I've trolled live baits around on this rod. This is a Stratic 5000. Once again, it's only got 10 kilo braid on it. And I've caught mackerel to 22, 23 kilo. They take 15 minutes, 20 minutes maybe. But you can get them on this sort of gear, easy. You don't need big heavy gear. Okay, and for those little 6, 8, 10 kilo ones, this knocks them over, easy, not a problem at all. And I am talking about Spanish mackerel, not spotties. Okay, so Spaniards, you don't need big heavy gear. This is a little 5000 Stratic, any sort of reel that sort of size, 10 or 15 kilo braid, you're as good as gold, go for it. If you're up north, I'd probably say 15, try and get them to the boat quicker to get away from the sharks. Down south, like a southeast Queensland, northern New South Wales, 10 kilos fine, have a bit of fun. Okay? So a little 5000 Stratic will do the job, and that's on a little 10 kilo stick too. This is 5'6", it's quite short, but I like it for trawling and I use it for other things, live baiting and stuff too. Okay. The other thing, if you want to go casting a few lures, hang on, before we get to that, I forgot about this one. The other reason I bought this one, sorry guys, I'm getting old, memory slipping. The other reason I bought this one, the Stratic, is to jig, but not using micro jig and stuff with it. You can, but old school trick is just to buy like raider lures, but 60-80 gram raiders, peel the stickers off, have them full chrome, and drop them down on the boat, and then just wind up the clappers back through the water column. So if you're in say 40 metres of water, 35 to 40 metres of water, and you see bait down deep, and you see some fish around the bait, but they're not eating lures or whatever, drop it, just get a radar, take the stickers off it so it's full chrome. Just drop it under the boat and crank it back through the water column really quickly. It's a good way to get Spaniards, and that's what I bought this outfit for, mainly. Okay, so nice little rod just to jig a few lures, and you control baits and hard bodies and all sorts. 5,000 strategy. Okay, the next way to go is more casting, but this is more for spotties. You will catch Spaniards, and it's a bit harder on a lot of gear, but this is more for spotties. Say you know where there's a big school of spotties, if you're in Palm Beach Reef off the Gold Coast, or Mermaid Reef or something, there's 100 boats around you, which does happen when the spotties are on. It drives you absolutely nuts. This is once again, this is a 4,000 strategy. You can just see the different handle, that's all. 4,000 strategy. This has got 10 kilo mono, can't think, 10 kilo braid. Okay, it's a very thin 10 kilo braid, so I put little chrome slugs on these little stick baits and stuff. This is my casting outfit for spotties when I'm in crowds. So when you're in a crowd, you actually want to put the brakes on, like put the brakes on and get the fish back to the boat before they run around and cut people's anchors off and get tangled in other people and start a brawl, which happens every year with all the people fishing one little spot. So if you're down here amongst the crowd catching a few fish, a little 4,000 like this, 10 kilo braid. This is a fine little outfit. You can put a pilly on and float it down to the water column, or you can put a couple of slugs on, or little stick baits or whatever, and cast. This is on a 7-foot rod. It's an 7-foot 8 kilo spin stick. Okay, 4,000 strategy, and that's fine for casting, even floating a few pillies out in amongst the crowds. Okay. The last one we've got here is for doing the same sort of thing, casting lures and putting baits down. But this is when you're alone, or you found a big patch of spotties by yourself, or there's only a couple of boats on it. There's not jam-packed full of hundreds of boats, like there's no one around. Then I'll just get the old flathead gear out, because you ever caught, guys, you ever tried catching spotties, like a metre long spotty on flathead gear on 6 and 8 pound line, 2500 reel, little 3 kilo stick, chase a metre long spotties? It's fun. It's an absolute blast. You have a great time. You catch them, no worries. You can do it easy on this gear. The only thing is, with this light gear, they do run quite a bit, so it's no good in amongst the crowds. If you're using this in amongst the crowds, hook a big spotty, you're going to cut people's anchors off, and you get wrapped around electric engines, and you're going to get into fights when you hook other people's lines. So no fun in crowds. But if you find fish by yourself, this one, just a little 2500 and a little 3 kilo stick, it's a flathead outfit. Go chase them on that. It's good fun. It's great fun. You'll have an absolute blast. And once again, you can put a pilly on it, float it down, or you put a little slug on it, a little stick bait, and cast. Once again, 6'6" rod. It's a 3 kilo stick, 2500 reel, and I think that's 6 or 8 pound braid. Awesome. You don't need to go and buy big heavy duty gear, guys. You really don't. Just use a bit of common sense on where you are. If there's a lot of boats around or no boats, the big heavy gear you can use, you'll catch fish, yes. It's just no fun in it. But if you want to have a bit of fun while you're catching yourself a feed, drop down to like TLD 15s, TLD 15s, Speedmasters, smaller reels like that sort of size. Put 10 kilo mono, 15 if you're not too sure on your abilities, maybe 15 max kilo, so 15 kilo max. You're not going to need any heavier unless you're up north chasing absolute monsters, and then the big heavy gear will come into your favour, it really will. And then you got your little spinning outfits, which will catch spotties, and you'll catch Spaniards on that too. But once again, if you're away from the crowd, you let the fish run, fight the fish, you can catch fish on those little spin rods, those little 4,000 and 2,500s. You'll catch Spaniards on that. You just need to be away from the crowds. If you're in amongst the crowds, sorry, you're shit out of luck. But if you're away by yourself or a couple of boats around, which generally will move when I see you hooked up with good fish, use little spin rods, have some fun. You don't need to buy the big heavy gear all the time. Doesn't matter, like I said, if you're up here in Cairns or down southeast Queensland, middle of New South Wales, chasing mackerel, this gear will work everywhere. Just think about what size of your fish you usually catch in your area. Find some gear to suit. You don't always have to go the big, bulky, heavy ones. I know tackle shops tell you, but you don't. Go a bit lighter, have a bit of fun, catch a feed, enjoy yourself. Anyway guys, enough of rambling on. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it helps you out with the mackerel fishing. And don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you again shortly in the next one. See you guys.